All right, how many times have we told you on this show Republicans do not care about black voters, that they also greatly believe in voter suppression? Well, we now see that as the case in Wisconsin. Charlie Sykes is a longtime conservative in Wisconsin who's been highly critical of his party since Donald Trump came to power. And he posted this item today on his website called Suppressing the Black Vote and Bragging About It. In it, he quotes and this is the quote, this is from a Republican official named Robert Spindell in Wisconsin. He said, quote, "We can be especially proud of the city of Milwaukee, 80.2% Democratic vote, casting 37,000 less votes than cast in the 2018 election, with a major reduction happening in the overwhelming black and Hispanic areas." Now, when you go further down, in here, you will actually see in here where they talk about this whole issue and what this guy actually said. He said, in the city of Milwaukee, and first of all, he put this in an email. In the city of Milwaukee, with the 4th Congressional District Republican Party working very closely with the RPW, RNC, Republican Assembly and Senate campaign committees, statewide campaigns, and RPMC in the black and Hispanic areas, we can, and so the whole point about especially being proud of reducing it. Now, this is what he did. He claimed that this was the result of a well thought out, multifaceted plan that included biting black radio negative commercials run last few weeks of the election cycle straight at Dem candidates, a substantial and very effective Republican coordinated election integrity program resulting with lots of Republican paid election judges and trained observers and extremely significant continued court litigation. He also said, in a Democratic city or Democrat county where up to 80% of the people are voting for the Democrats, that's a good thing, and helped ensure that Senator Johnson got over the goal line. Now, he wrote this in an email when contacted by the Associated Press. He goes, "I will not stand for that. The last thing I want to do is suppress votes." But here is the thing, folks, that jumps out. This was one of the fake electors for Trump. But if you really want to check this out, watch this right here. He is a member of the Wisconsin Election Commission, the state body that oversees election integrity in the state. There are 3 Republicans and there are 3 Democrats. This is the thing that I have been saying over and over and over again, that this is the fundamental strategy of the Republican Party, how they have been targeting black voters. And when y'all are watching these people out here who are commenting on stuff and who are, and again, I've been very critical of these black people claiming they super black, demanding tangibles, but telling you not to vote. They are operating as agents with these people here. The work that they are doing is alongside these people here. And the misinformation targeting black people is designed for this. Remember, Mandela Barnes lost, I think it was about 28,000 votes. Had you had the turnout in Milwaukee, and in fact, Milwaukee lost about 50,000 fewer people who voted in Milwaukee in 2022 than 2018. Now, I'm not absolving Mandela Barnes of anything because his campaign sucked. Their black strategy sucked. But do understand, it is a concerted effort by Republicans. I talk about this in my book, White Fear. This is a part of their strategy. This is what they want to do to African Americans. They do not want us to vote. This guy, Michael, is making it plain. He puts it in an email and he can't run from it. You're mute.
Today.
There you go. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so glad you covered this story today, Roland, because I first found out about this today on Nicole Wallace's show on MSNBC, and she had Charlie Sykes on as well. This is a type of disinformation campaign, okay? And they bought ads targeting African Americans to depress the vote. This is one of the things that they did. OK, this is why we have to be so educated and knowledgeable about politics and understanding how this misinformation is fed to us to suppress our vote. If our vote didn't matter, why are people spending money to keep us from voting? And then you have the black social media pimps who don't understand politics, don't understand history, don't understand law, don't understand economics, who feed into this and spread this to our people to boost their social media platform. So we got two enemies. We got white supremacists like this guy, but we also have ignorant black people who put this mess out here as well. So this is why your show is so important.
You know, Kelly, when we talk about these things, we talk about what they do and how they're doing this. This is not a one-off. This is happening all across the country in multiple states, and black folks need to understand they're doing it because they are scared to death of our potential power.
Correct. And it's sad because instead of trying to find ways to garner our vote, to mobilize so that we as black people could, dare I say, become Republicans, be more conservative. There are incentives for fiscal conservatism in this country. Some of the key tenets of being a Republican, that's not what they're about. That's not what people like this man are about. They are about preserving the power based off the color of their skin. And because we don't look like them, they don't care that black people aren't a monolith and that there's plenty of political ideologies to spare to the Republican Party. Because we do not look like them, because we are not white, they are not trying to have us in any type of right-wing set of politics. So it is sad, but it is expected.
You know, Matt, look, we just had the midterm elections. Folk better understand they are going to do even more of this in 2024. Black people need to be in position, need to be preparing for this and readying ourselves, because the last thing they want is to see Democrats control the Senate and the White House in 2024.
That's exactly right. And we need to, as a people, recognize that we are under attack. It's not coincidental. We're under attack. And this is a perfect example, because this is a brazen email where he had to call Cassidy, if you will, to try to back it up and say, no, I'm not, trying to diminish black votes. But you see it there written clear what the strategy is. So we do need to be informed, and we need to be galvanized, and we need to expect chicanery to come down the road, because we know that's what Republicans are doing. They're playing for keeps. As we've seen with all the federal judges that have been put in, and as you talk about on the show, all of the local races. And that's the thing that's scary, is that this strategy extends to the local races, and those have a more measurable effect, like on your daily life, as Kelly mentioned earlier, about getting your roads paved and all the services that you may need. So people need to be alert, and you need to understand that this is a game that they're playing for keeps, and we have to counter that by being galvanized, but being at the polls.
Indeed, and I can just, and I'm telling you, this thing is major, and when people act like, this really ain't that big of a deal, it is. Senator Ron Johnson now is going to be there for the next 6 years. Yes. And the reality is, had Mandela Barnes won, Democrats would have a 52-48 majority in the United States Senate and would be there for a full 6-year term. And folks, understand, as we move forward to 2023 and 24, you're going to see a shrinking white population in America, and you're going to see an increasing black and brown population in America. I purposely walk this through my book. There's a reason why I call it white fear, how the browning of America is making white folks lose their minds. The Republican Party today, folks, is essentially a white party. That is who they are focused on. Oh, yeah, you could do the window dressing. You could talk about, there are 5 black Republicans who are now in the House. You've got Senator Tim Scott in the Senate. But that doesn't matter. They are showing us who they are, and they absolutely want to dilute black power. You look at now how they're trying to redefine who is black to keep a second black congressional seat out of Alabama. You see they're blocking the second black congressional district in Louisiana. They do not want to see 60 plus members of the Congressional Black Caucus. That is the last thing they want to see. And so we had better stop playing games, and we had better understand that we can ill afford as black people to be voting at 30, 35, 40% of our numbers. Those numbers must be at 65, 70, 75, 80 to counter the things that they are doing. That's why don't forget, folks, to get a copy of my book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. You can get that book, again, numerous bookstores. You can download your copy from Audible as well. And then, of course, so next Saturday, January 21st, my White Fear tour, we're going to be in St. Louis. I'm partnering with the St. Louis Urban League and also my man, rapper and activist Tef Poe. We're going to do an in conversation with him and Michael McMillan, taking place at the Urban League's offices, 1408 North Kings Highway, St. Louis, Missouri 63113. And so it's free and open to the public. We do want you to RSVP if you're in the St. Louis area. So send us an email to info@RolandSMartin.com, info@RolandSMartin.com. I will be in St. Louis again next Saturday, January 21st at 3 p.m. Free, open to the public. We'll do the book signing afterwards and in conversation discussing White Fear with Michael McMillan and Tef Poe in St. Louis. And of course, we're planning events in Los Angeles, in Dallas, in Houston, and other places as well. So we're really looking forward to making this happen. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland@RolandSMartin.com.